every story appears ordinary till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Good evening and welcome to CoreTV Primetime News. I am Omotayo Alo, and in our major story, Presidency reacts to reports making rounds that the president's trip to the United States of America was a total waste of taxpayers' money. Also, in this program, Senate invites Central Bank Governor Godwin Emefiele to brief it on the real state of the economy and the current free fall of the naira. Immediate past chairman, Chief of Army Staff Kenneth Minima says Boko Haram activities were initially used as a tool to advance sectional, tribal, religious and political interests in the country. And from outside Nigeria, at least 16 people have drowned and more than 300 others missing after a migrant boat capsized off the coast of Libya. And now the news in full. The presidency has reacted to reports making rounds that the president's trip to the United States of America was a total waste of taxpayers' money. Senior Special Assistant to President Muhammad Buhari and Media and Publicity Garba Shehu, in a statement on Wednesday, recalled an editorial published in one of the dailies on August 2, 2015, putting the president's trip at a cost of 2.2 billion naira as not only false but sad. The spokesman said the present administration is particular about cutting cost of governance and expended a budget not up to 10% of the speculated figure. Shehu explained that the accommodation was provided free by the host government and all personnel staff who accompanied the president on the trip received reduced allowances. Shehu buttressed that Nigeria-U.S. relations has suffered severely over the past few years, and the renewed relationship will do Nigeria a whole lot of good, especially as the Buhari administration continues to tackle the challenges of corruption, insecurity and the economy. Stating the benefits of the trip, Shehu said the proposed $2.1 billion fund from the World Bank for the redevelopment of the Northeast parted by Boko Haram, the $5 billion from the U.S. investors in Nigeria's agriculture sector, $1.5 billion investment in the Nigerian health sector, and another $5 billion investment from the U.S. in the country's power sector is in progress for consideration. President Muhammad Buhari has expressed concern over the enormous debt profile of Nigeria's aviation sector, with a promise to act quickly to redress the situation. The president made this remark while receiving the briefing from the Federal Ministry of Aviation on Wednesday in Abuja, noting that safety, security and international respectability are the watchword of the sector. In a statement by a special advisor on media and publicity, Femi Adesina, President Buhari pointed out that Nigeria airports are the windows through which people see the country. Consequently, the president has directed the Ministry of Aviation to speed up all processes and projects relating to the safety and security of Nigeria's transport system. As for the order that counterpart funding for the upgrading of the international airports in Abuja, Lagos, Kano, Port Harcourt and Enugu be captured in the 2016 budget. For part, Aviation Ministry's Permanent Secretary Binta Bello disclosed that 5 new international airport terminal buildings were designed to meet the best international standards and could cater for 62 million passengers annually when completed in the first quarter of 2016. She said Lagos International Airport will be moving from 7 million passengers capacity to 25 million, Abuja from 5 million to 16 million, while Kano, Port Harcourt and Enugu will have the capacity for 7 million passengers each. President Muhammad Buhari has pledged that his administration will take all necessary actions to maintain and improve the National Youth Service Corps NYSC program as a functional vehicle for the promotion of national unity and integration. President Buhari gave the assurance on Wednesday in Abuja after receiving a briefing from officials of the Federal Ministry of Youth Development led by the Permanent Secretary Rabi Jimeta. The president affirmed his confidence and trust in the program, saying that the objective for which the scheme was established in 1973 was still very relevant for national development. On her part, Jimeta informed the president that the increasing number of NYSC participants posed a challenge to the scheme due to dwindling revenue from the national budget to cater for their needs. She said that the annual enrollment of Corps participants had increased from 2,364 at inception in 1974 to 2,298 and 16 in 2014. Director General of NYSC Brigadier General Johnson Olaomi also added that there were plans to make the scheme voluntary and reduce the core population to make the program more sustainable. The Senate has invited the Central Bank Governor, Godwin Emefiele, to brief it on the real state of the economy and the current free fall of the Naira. This was on the basis of a motion by Senator Nazif Sulaiman from Bauchi North, which received unanimous support in the Senate chamber. Many senators spoke on how bad the Naira had depreciated in recent months, with a number of them blaming the situation on poor management of the economy by the previous government.
The declining value of the Naira has in recent times been a major issue in the country. And not surprising, the Senate is also wading in. Senator Nazif brought up the matter through a motion on the state of the economy and how the Naira is on a free fall. This elicited relations from many senators who wanted something done to stem the trend. A handful of them blamed the situation on the previous administration.
The pressure the Naira has, the dollar has. And what brings about the pressure? Number one, in this Senate, I think it was last week, we talked about waivers. When you are talking about waivers, you are talking about pressure on the dollar.
A nation that's based its resources on petroleum industry for the past 40 years has no chemical industries. That's the problem. If you compare your country, Nigeria, to Malaysia, to Venezuela, to Brazil, you can see what Petrobras has done over the years in Brazil. They have a range of products. But here we have a money economy, and that's what we're doing. Nigeria as a nation must define exactly what economy you want to develop.
The entirety of our lives as a country is to wait for the oil companies to mine this oil. Central bank or this NMPC will sell. Central bank will bring the money and we will share. Now it's gone halfway. You want to sustain your way, the way you used to live, against half and the income you used to get. There will be problems.
The motion received unanimous support and it had no problems calling through. Senate President Bukola Saraki summed up the Senate's position on the decline in the Naira value.
It's clear that the Naira is being subjected to speculators, and as such, the only way you can defend it is for the speculators to know that government policymakers are firm and are consistent in the defense of the Naira. As you can see the way the Naira is appreciating and depreciating. I think the message across here is that here in the Senate, we will give all that we can to government to see how they can defend the Naira.
Aside from summoning the CBN governor to brief it on the situation, the lawmakers also want the executive to step up efforts in diversifying the economy.
FCT authorities has warned Borough the Sean operators in and around Wuse Zone 4 in Abuja to stay clear of the street or face the full wrath of the law. The Permanent Secretary in the Ministry, John Chukwu, issued this warning during an emergency inspection tour of areas used by the Association of Borough the Sean of Nigeria and black market operators under the aegis of Zone 4 Traders Association. He stressed that the Federal Capital City has been well planned and designed with a master plan which must be respected to make Abuja clean and safe. The Permanent Secretary admonished the operators on the rules and regulations laid down by the Central Bank of Nigeria and insisted that it is illegal to hawk money on the street. He advised the traders to acquire offices or shops for easy identification by prospective customers in order not to allow criminals and hoodlums to take advantage. The Permanent Secretary was accompanied on the tour by the FCT Police Commissioner Wilson Inalegu and the Director of the Department of State Security, Bello Bakori. The House of Representatives is to investigate allegations of tax evasion against the Stallion Group. The company was said to have failed to pay custom duties to the tune of 17 billion naira under the new National Rice Development Policy. The decision is based on the motion moved by Abdullahi Farouk, who also claimed that the former administration aided the company's cause. Objections that a similar motion had been handled by the 7th House were overruled by Speaker Yakubu Dogara.
Other companies, Rexoc Farms, Atafi Rice Industry, and Ario Rice Mill paid their duties to the Nigerian, determined to use the additional quotas granted to its subsidiary, Mascot Agro, to further evade payment of new custom duty.
If you have been following events, they have sealed up all these warehouses in line with the recommendation, closed all their offices, and also frozen all their bank accounts, even down to other businesses. I see this motion more like a duplication of the effort that has already been taken. Because what we have done clearly, if you look at the recommendation from the previous House consideration, Stallion Group was there, Popular Food, and all of them, we insisted that all their businesses and everything be sealed. And the customs, in line with the resolution of the House, have taken those actions.
As to whether we can consider this matter because we came to a conclusion on it in the last House, I think it is only appropriate, since we're calling for investigation, to look into the matter again. And if the report affirms that custom has taken steps to recover these funds and they're indeed recovering it, then fantastic. That reinforces what we did in the last assembly. So I don't think it will be against any principle for us to have a look, to take a look at it.
Join us after this quick break for more in Primetime News.
Some pundits believe that as long as the political system is driven by selected few, corruption may be difficult to fight.
You should be careful about what you say.
I am not the only politician. Even if I've wronged anyone, it is time to forgive me.
Political Arena every Sunday at 9:15 p.m. and a repeat broadcast every Tuesday at 1:30 p.m.
This is what the people are saying.
You don't run a big economy with generator. They need to do more in terms of energy and power.
Many things to do for this Nigeria about lights, water, and
new TT. For Nigerians that are not gullible, we know that good laws have done nothing good for this country.
Buhari won the election convincingly.
Talk to our husband that you should keep promise about what you said, and because people are watching you, you know, another election is coming.
Also, some people will strong for Yoruba land, will be strong man, we don't die.
This nation is moving forward. The best is going to take place.
The people giving voice to the voiceless.
Welcome, it's CoreTV Primetime News, and here's a reminder of our major story. Presidency reacts to reports making rounds that the president's trip to the United States of America was a total waste of taxpayers' money. Also in this program, Senate invites Central Bank Governor Godwin Emefiele to brief it on the real state of the economy and the current free fall of the naira. Immediate past Chief of Army Staff Kenneth Minima says Boko Haram activities were initially used as a tool to advance sectional, tribal, religious and political interests in the country. And for more news and information, visit our social media platform, facebook.com/CoreTV News. You could follow us and also tweet at us at our Twitter handle at CoreTV News NG. Get more on our live streaming on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/CoreTV. Leave a space and news. Inspector General of Police Solomon Araze on Wednesday decorated two newly appointed Deputy Inspectors General of Police. The decorated officers are DIG Chuntao Amajo Onu and DIG Adeniji Jubril. Police spokesman Emmanuel Ojukwu said in a statement that the IGP Araze is satisfied with the professional conduct of the officers. Araze, however, charged the officers to use their wealth of experience to further improve the police management team for better policing. Immediate past Chief of Army Staff Kenneth Minima says Boko Haram activities were initially used as a tool to advance sectional, tribal, religious and political interests in the country. DC insists this while the activities of the insurgents did not receive the commendation, the condemnation it deserves from the local populace at the initial stage. Minima revealed this at the pulling out ceremony organized in his honor by the army authorities in Abuja. Payo Samuel has more in this report.
Minima is the 19th Chief of Army Staff and the 25th head of the Nigerian Army. He has served in the Army for 36 years, during which he rose through the ranks to becoming the Chief of Army Staff. On January 16, 2014, he was named the head of the Army, but Minima said he had challenges even before settling down to work.
You will recall the appointment came at a time our army, and indeed the nation was going through one of the worst crises in our history. The level of violence and insecurity unleashed on innocent citizens by the Boko Haram terrorists had reached unprecedented heights. There was spate of bombings across the country. Attacks on soft targets such as civilians and vulnerable communities were on the increase. The armed forces and security agencies appeared helpless to address the situation. And sadly, the nation began to lose confidence in its army and military.
Despite the situation, the former army chief said he continued working to ensure that the country, especially the Northeast, is secured. He insisted that under his watch, the fighting capacity of Boko Haram was reduced in the last few months. Minima says he is convinced that the army he is leaving behind is combat ready to finally bring down the insurgents.
The threat of terrorism is rapidly expanding across the globe and demands the collective action of all nations. Boko Haram may have its greatest impact in Nigeria, but its ability to hurt other nations' interests, no matter the distance, is real. In the last decade, we have seen the extent to which people who harbor evil against their fellow human beings go to inflict pain and death on innocent people.
Today, life has presented different challenges for the 36 years Minima had spent in the army. But he is using the occasion as a reminder of what he claims to be his last words to officers and men he's leaving behind.
A nation is as strong as its armed forces. And the strength of the armed forces is in the quality of the individual soldier and his fighting spirit. Fighting spirit imbues him with confidence to stand up to the adversary rather than flee, like we witnessed in the recent past.
Although Minima is retired, the new Chief of Army Staff, General Buratai, says he will continue to seek for advice from his predecessor to ensure total success in the combat against terrorism. Pius Samuel, CoreTV News, Abuja.
Troops detect IEDs along Borno Link Road, the Nigerian Army says. Troops have uncovered 5 improvised explosive devices along a link road to Goza-Yanteka Road in Kano State. This was contained in the statement signed by the Deputy Director, Army Public Relations, Colonel Tuku Gusau, on Wednesday. Gusau revealed that the troops also recovered some bomb-making tools in the Dikwa area of the state. Some youth of Malari village in Kundugu local government area of Borno State have paraded before the state governor Kashim Shettima for men alleged to have participated in the Monday Boko Haram attack on the villages, killing 9 persons and displacing hundreds of civilians. This followed the visit of the governor to sympathize with the villagers on their ordeals. A civilian Joint Task Force member, Nuhu Kumoshe, who spoke to pressmen, said they arrested one of the suspects after his father handed him and his cohorts to them. 2 factions of the Ekiti State chapter of the Trade Union Congress is now battling with leadership crisis, one led by Kolawole Olaya and another by Odwayo Adesoye battle for the soul of the union, as they both have parallel executives. The Ekiti state government has also been fingered as the brain behind the division experienced by the union. Rashid has more.
In recent times, activities, especially leadership selection process of labor unions, no doubt leave many questions to be answered. This is playing out in Ekiti State, with leadership crisis tearing the State Trade Union Congress apart. A delegate conference held some days back had produced a new set of executives, but Kolawole Olaya says he remains the authentic chairman through a court judgment from the National Industrial Court.
This NYSC decision is written by NYSC AK 2012 and 2012 is the basis why I'm here. Everything that took place on Thursday, 30th day of July 2015 is illegal.
But the newly elected executives who emerged at the said delegate conference with Odwayo Adeoye as the chairman denies any court injunction, as Olaya was said to have been impeached earlier.
The election that we just concluded on Thursday, 30th July 2015 was the one that was conducted by the national body of the Trade Union Congress of Nigeria. I don't know anything about that court judgment. Nobody served me a copy of the court judgment.
We met, we discussed, we passed a vote of no confidence to Comrade Olaya.
While the Olaya faction claims its tenure will end on October 2016, he accused the state government of supporting the Adewumi faction. This was, however, described as mere cry of a loser.
When this government came, a lot of things, took place. Because everything has been impunity in the state. I can mention a series of things which have been done with impunity.
The unions are there to check the excesses of the government. So I cannot imagine somebody who is coming out to say that the TUC has now become the appendage of government.
There is no end in sight to this crisis, as the warring factions are not ready to settle the rift, even as the state government is being accused of complicity. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ado Ekiti.
Kano State authorities have commenced the demolition of structures illegally built on government property in some parts of the state. Bulldozers from the State Urban Planning and Development Authority began the exercise in parts of Zaria and Kaduna metropolis. This, according to government officials, is because there is no going back on the decision to demolish houses built on compounds and premises of secondary schools in all parts of the state. It would be recalled that a special assistant to Governor on Media, Samuel Aruwen, has moved to clear the air on the government action by saying that it was meant to recover some of the government property. Lagos State Governor Akinwumi Ambode on Wednesday swore in 19 new permanent secretaries in the state civil service with a call on the new appointees to immediately get to work and prove themselves. The governor at the ceremony held at the banquet hall Lagos House Alausa admonished the new appointees to ensure proficiency in the discharge of their duties, charging them to be committed to the principles of good governance, probity, transparency, and accountability. Governor Ambode said the quality of service by his administration will be measured on a daily basis. Hence, the permanent secretaries must up the ante and be alive to their responsibilities. He said the permanent secretaries were drawn from a pool of equally competent and qualified substantive directors, while a careful selection was done based on merit, professionalism, and proven track record of service to the state. Ondo State Governor Olusegun Mimiko has dissolved all boards and parastatals interstate. The governor, in a release made available to newsmen by the CPS, Eni Akishola, directed all the affected officers to submit all government properties in their care to the most senior civil servant in the organization. The statement also ordered all senior special assistant and special assistant to the governor to stop parading themselves as one. The resolution is in a bid to appoint fresh hands. We take another break, and when we come back, we'll be back with stories from outside Nigeria, sports, business, and entertainment.
Is it crazy or autocracy? Or what type of crazy is that? Except crazy.
News making the headlines.
Black Maria is to carry criminals, child looters that are in government today.
Sometimes it gets confrontational.
Slap you in the face.
They don't put words into my mouth.
Whatever it is that will bring our military to disrepute, I say to hell.
On Core Digest,
I want to know why I should be believing them.
Every weekday, we bring all of these together and take them to the court of public opinion.
Everybody has the right in Nigeria,
where you are the judge. You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live. And welcome to CoreTV Primetime Days. To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then news. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
And on the foreign scene, at least 16 people have drowned and more than 300 others remain missing after a migrant boat capsized off the coast of Libya. Federico Forsi, a spokesman for the UN Refugee Agency, who confirmed the incident, said the boat capsized Wednesday afternoon when migrants moved onto one side of the boat as Irish Navy rescue vessels approached, causing the boat to capsize and sink. Forsi disclosed that the boat was carrying about 600 people, of whom 250 have been rescued so far. More than 2,000 people have died so far this year while attempting to make the dangerous journey from North Africa to Europe, according to figures from the International Organization for Migration, making the Mediterranean Sea the world's deadliest stretch of water for migrants and refugees. Police in central Russia have arrested a 52-year-old man suspected of killing and dismembering his 6 younger children along with his wife and mother. The suspect, Oleg Belov, was shot by police on Tuesday after trying to resist arrest, according to Vladimir Makin, a spokesman for Russia's investigative committee. Belov's 6 children were found dismembered in the family's apartment in Nazir Novgorod on Tuesday after the children were reported missing to police because they had not been seen at kindergarten since July 25. The body of Belov's wife, who was reported to be pregnant, is believed to be among the remains. Also, a woman believed to be Belov's mother was stabbed multiple times and found buried near a residential building in the town of Gorovets. He has been transferred to the intensive care unit of Central City Hospital, Korov, in the Valdemar region, where he had surgery Tuesday night. He is reported to be in stable condition. And now to business. Nigeria's stock exchange NYSC market index advanced on Wednesday by 3.10% as market breadth for the day settles at 2.12 in favor of the 36 gainers. Flour Mill led the 36 gaining counters of the day as it advanced by 10.11% to close at market price of 32.46 naira copper, followed by Cortex, Nascon, UAC Property and Evans Medical trailing with gains respectively. Dangote Cement witnessed the price jump of 4.94% from 170 naira per share to 180 naira 50 kobo per share. On the contrary, NNFM, Berger and Painscom led the decliners chart with price declines of 4.96%, 4.90% and 4.76% accordingly. All sector indices recorded positive returns for the day. Rates across Nigeria. Interbank offer rate instrument increased by an average of 3.99% to settle at 17.72%, with overnight borrowing advancing by 13%. Liquidity decreased to 23.09% from 27.8% from yesterday's session, pushing the increase in interbank leading rates. However, sales sentiment persisted and Treasury bills as yields across all the Treasury bills trended upwards by an average of 14.4%. Meanwhile, the Naira depreciated on Wednesday by 0.03% against the greenback to close at a mid-price of 198.31% kobo. U.S. stocks pushed sharply higher and looked to snap a 3-day losing streak Wednesday on the heels of seemingly conflicting U.S. economic data. The main index advanced in early trade after a softer than expected reading and private payroll growth stoked ideas the Federal Reserve might not be so hasty about hiking rates. But a reading of the service sector indicated signs of economic vigor surging to a 10-year high in July. Investors had been heartened by signs of economic weakness since it suggests that the Federal Reserve may be inclined to delay rising rates. On Wednesday, the Standard & Poor's 500 rose 17 points at 0.9% to 2,111.8%, while the Nasdaq Composite jumped 63 points at 1.3% to 5,169.74%. Meanwhile, the Dow Jones Industrial Average was off its session highs but still up 91 points at 0.5% to 17,635.24%. The Dow was being dragged lower by Walt Disney Company, which was shaving more than 60% off the blue chip index, which was lower in the wake of disappointing earnings. Meanwhile, several large cap stocks with strong profit growth are sending a positive message about the stock market's health. Storage is aiming to launch a season after the first international break as it continues to make a smooth recovery from hip surgery. The Liverpool striker was first to have operation on his left hip on May 6 in New York, and it was initially anticipated he would not be able to train for the 4 months following the procedure. It effectively ruled him out of competitive action until October. Sturridge, however, spent the summer in the United States working with the doctors who performed the operation and has in frequent contact with Liverpool's medical staff in an attempt to time off his rehabilitation period. It is now expected that the 25-year-old will return to Melwood, Liverpool's training base at some point in the next couple of weeks, and the target will then be back playing after the next round of European Championship qualifiers, which will be held in early September. Arturo Vidal made his first Bayern Munich start as the Bundesliga club beat AC Milan 3-0 to start up an OD Cup final against Real Madrid, as Juan Bernat gave Pep Guardiola's side the lead after 24 minutes when he cut inside Mattia Deslego and saw a shot deflect off Christy Zapata on his way into the net. The hosts had to wait until late into the second half to secure victory, as Mario Götze doubled Munich's advantage before substitute Robert Lewandowski fresco volley with 6 minutes remaining put the seal on a comfortable win. However, Bayern coach Guardiola was angered following a reversed tackle from the Holland international Nigel de Jong, which first injured Germany under-21 ace Joseph Kimmich off early on 25 minutes during the OD Cup pre-season clash in Munich. Cristiano Ronaldo's afternoon stint on the best ball juggling oval in Spain has been shown in its entirety after he stunned the Madrid public with his antics earlier this year. The Real Madrid superstar was cunningly disguised as a homeless person, complete with ragged beard, powdered shirts and dog companion, before spending an afternoon showing off his skills in Madrid's Plaza del Carril. People were unaware they were in company of one of the world's greatest players. Most people in Spain's capital were pleased to engage with the mysterious vagabond before Ronaldo revealed his true identity to an unsuspecting youngster. After almost embarrassing the young boy with his dribbling skills, the 30-year-old stopped to sign the ball he had been playing with before stripping off his disguise and gifting the ball to the awestruck child, while subsequently creating pandemonium in the streets. And now to entertainment. Good news comes for the fans of epic trilogy The Orbit, as Peter Jackson adaptation will once again impress moviegoers, as it will come to theaters this October in the extended edition. It was Faraway Entertainment which first revealed plans for the Orbit Trilogy Extended Edition to get theatrical release, and Fathom Events and Warner Bros. Are partnering to present the extended editions of all 3 Orbit movies. Shown over 3 nights, the epic Peter Jackson trilogy will be the first time the extended editions have ever been released in theaters. Also included will be an exclusive introduction by director Peter Jackson. First night showing starts Monday, October 5th, 2015 at 7:30 local. Tickets will be regular admission prices for each movie, reads the statement in the website. However, it is unclear whether the film will be screened in another cinema on the same date with the AMC, and if those 3 films will be shown in 3 straight days or spread over the month of October. Martin Freeman, Ian McLean, Richard Amdred, Luke Evans, Orlando Bloom, Evelyn Lilly and Lee Pace are several names who will appear in this October's extended version. Lionsgate has released the first trailer for its animated movie Nam of the North, as the film is much in the vein of DreamWorks' Madagascar, as it features a funny story about a bear named Nam who tries to preserve his habitat from the construction of fancy buildings. Nam finds out that humans are moving to his land and trying to develop giant buildings which can vanish their home. He and his friends go to New York in an attempt to convince humans not to move to their land. What's gonna a bear like me do in a city like this? Nam says when he arrives in the city. Their adventure to the Big Apple turns out to be ridiculous as Nam and his friends disguise themselves as backup dancers to garner people's support. Noah Frogslesen produces the movie alongside Richard Rich, while Stephen Altari and Daniel Altari pen the script. Directed by Anthony Bell, Nam of the North is due to arrive in U.S. theaters on January 15, 2016. And that's a wrap on the stories for tonight. But here's a quick reminder of our major story. Presidency reacts to reports making rounds that the president's trip to the United States of America was a total waste of taxpayers' money. Senate invites Central Bank Governor Godwin Emefiele to brief it on the real state of the economy and the current free fall of the naira. Immediate past Chief of Army Staff Kenneth Minima says Boko Haram activities were initially used as a tool to advance sectional, tribal, religious and political interest in the country. And it's a wrap on CoreTV Primetime News. Thank you so very much for watching. My name is Omotayo Alo. Bye for now.